You know, there's a statistic that says that 90% of traders actually lose their money. That is pretty insane, but when you think about it, most people just get into trading, and crypto trading especially, without any strategy whatsoever beyond try to buy where it's kinda cheap and kind of sell when it's kind of expensive. In this video, I'm going to share a trading strategy that is honestly dead simple, and I've won 9 out of 10 trades. I'm basically printing money here. Just to prove that I'm not just talking nonsense, I've been sharing on my Twitter when I open and exit a scalp position. This is my last trade here, which I took 9.04% profit, and yeah, I basically just post pretty much within the minute when I open and exit a trade. You can find some of my others. Here's me actually posting it live before I closed. Here's another one I did where I took over 13% profit on a short. I mostly learned the strategy from CryptoFace, my amigo, and he does like $10 million plus trades at a time. So yeah, he's making like 6 to 7 figures realized profit per trade, so it can be scaled up quite a lot. But for the purpose of this video, for most people, if you can make like $100 a day, you're doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing better than 99.9% of people, in all honesty. Now, to do the strategy, you absolutely need to get Market Cipher. This is such an overpowered indicator. Like, I don't know why it's like so cheap, to be honest. It's so freaking powerful, and CryptoFace developed it, a actual crypto whale, and it's just so freaking good. You can get it in the link in the description and use code 20waiting to get 15% off. So right here we're looking at a chart of Bitcoin, and you can see we have this indicator down below. This is Market Cipher B, probably the main component of it. Up top we have the live price, and we're at the 15-minute chart. There's a lot of information down here, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to be explaining like the absolute bare essentials of what is going on here and how I actually come to my conclusions, why I enter or exit a trade. You can see in each trade I make, I kind of make a justification of why I enter it. And I say things like money flow curving upwards on 30 minutes, anchor and trigger, blah, blah, blah. And I'm basically just going to take you over the thought process of, you know, how I come to these conclusions. So one of the most reliable ways to actually make a winning percentage on your trades is to follow anchor and trigger waves on Market Cipher B. So right now we're at the 15-minute chart, so like this is like a short time frame. This is for like scalping, but even then Market Cipher is so freaking accurate in predicting when a price is going to go up or down. And you combine that with leverage, you can easily make $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 a trade. So when I say anchor and trigger wave, like here's what I'm talking about. The momentum wave on Market Cipher B, it curves downwards, right? That means it's oversold. The opposite goes when the momentum waves goes past the zero line. That means it's overbought. Now, the most reliable way to use these momentum waves is to have an anchor wave, which means it is turning back upwards and printing a green dot or a red dot in a bearish case. It goes up again, and it comes back down and makes a smaller wave with another green dot. Now, this is called an anchor wave. This is called a trigger wave. So when I say anchor and trigger wave, when I make my justification for entering this trade, that is what I'm talking about. The anchor wave printed, then the trigger wave, and look what happened. It went from 41.5k all the way up to 42.3k. Here's the inverse. Here's a bearish anchor and trigger wave. You can see it got printed here, and then it went down, and we can go back and see many examples of this. Here's another one, and then the trigger wave, and it goes up. Now combine that with leverage, 5x leverage, you've made 10%. Say you make a $1,000 bet, you've made $100 here, realized. So this is one example, and like you can just see this pattern forming all the time. Here's anchor wave here, trigger wave, it goes up, and this becomes even more reliable on larger time frames. Right now we're looking at the 1 hour. You can see there's a bearish anchor and a trigger wave here, and look what happened. You know what I'm saying? You put in a short here, you're making a hell of a lot of money on this crash. And here's an example of things going long or looking long at the start. So like here's a anchor and a trigger wave here. Let's say you enter around here, it goes down a bit, but then it finally goes up to the upside, and you're actually making money. Even if things don't go its way eventually, it almost invariably goes up the way the indicator says it's going to. Another aspect of Market Cipher, a very important aspect, is the money flow. So you can see these red waves and these green waves overlapping the blue momentum waves, that is basically how much money is exiting or entering a given coin. And usually if you're looking to get into a long, you want a long while it's in the red. The money flow will eventually curve upwards and then go into the green. You know, all bad things must come to an end and all good things must come to an end. It's an extra layer of confidence you have that the market is going to go a certain way. The way I trade, I only get a long in when any given time frame that I'm trading within has red money flow curving upwards when I'm looking to get into a long. That is an extra layer of confidence beyond the anchor and trigger wave strategy that I've explained. Let me explain an actual trade I made and go through the thought process of why I actually made it. So my last trade was a long on Solana, which I closed a few hours ago and got 9.07% profit. And that took like half a day to realize. This was my 10th trade and my 9th win. So looking at the chart of Solana, as you can remember, I was looking for a anchor and trigger wave that is bullish when I'm getting into a long. At this point, this is when I entered the long. Trigger wave printed the green dot. I knew I had to get into a long. That in combination with the red money flow that is curving slightly upwards gave me even more confidence. And if you go on to the larger environmental time frames such as the 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, they were all saying something similar. There is bullish anchor and trigger waves and bullish divergence, which means the price on the chart is disagreeing with what the momentum waves are saying, which is even more bullish. And this is the environment that it's in. The environment means Solana wants to pump up, so I have even more confidence to get into a scalp which lasts about half a day. Same applies to the 3 hour. There's an anchor and trigger wave, divergence, the price is going down, and Market Cipher says it should be going up. It's disagreeing with the price, which means there's profit to be made. And of course, exiting a position, it is more of the same, just in reverse. So I'm looking for bearish indications, which is green money flow curving downwards, which was there, an anchor and trigger wave, and a little bit of a divergence, a bit of bearish divergence. So with all these indications in mind and the RSI going from green to red, which means it's overbought in this time scale, made the decision easy for me to exit at $136.5. And pretty quickly I was found out to be right. Did I get the absolute bottom and top? No, I didn't. It actually went down a bit and I didn't get the absolute top, but I couldn't care less. The way people making serious money in crypto trade is by doing high estimated value plays, which means what is the long-term prospect of making these decisions over a long period of time, and what kind of returns will I get? If you try to get like the absolute top and bottom, you're probably going to get wrecked. Whereas if you go through high probability trades where it's very likely that you're going to take profit and get a good win rate, you're going to make so much money from the compound effect of it. And for an example of that, my amigo CryptoFace went from trading like 5-figure trades to over $10 million plus trades, and that was in the time period of a few years. You know what I'm saying? So getting reliable wins like this, like getting safe bets like what I've shown here, is massively profitable in the long run. This is how big money thinks about things. And you know, like I really couldn't care less if I enter a trade and I go in the red for a bit. You know, like it doesn't matter. I'm trading based on the strategy, and my strategy was saying don't sell. There's no reason to. In fact, there's even a stronger trigger wave printing here, so there's even less reason to sell at a loss at this point. Well guys, I hope this video was informative. If you enjoyed, please drop a like and subscribe for more videos like this.